when we first started, one of the things that I get from the audience almost all the time is this sense of like, are we going to get through this? And I'm always like, hey man, tickets are free. Just shut the fuck up and watch the show. No, I don't say it. But I think, people forget, like in early 2000s, they argued to for the unitary executive, and that the vice president, there was an argument that the vice president had the power alone to institute the ability to torture people. We forget our history is littered with these really tenuous moments where we find ourselves in a shaky place, and yet the resilience of the country finds its way, not to perfection, but past maybe those really rough moments. And so in final, going back to the show, do you still find yourselves optimistic about our ability to try and synthesize and contextualize all these things that are going on in a funny way, and the ability of the country to overcome that tenuous moment? And I will only ask Ronnie.
I would say that I am hopeful of the resiliency of these American institutions which are being strained. I do think that people will get past it. I think I can feel the antibodies kind of growing a little bit on social media, in the country, this kind of resistance to this garbage that we can't even put a word to. I can feel people they feel a little sick about it. But people don't know yet how to avoid being sick. But they can feel the sickness, whether it's the political discourse, it's social media, there's this, and we're developing the antibodies for it. And it's a new medium, and so that makes sense. Right. This internet thing, it makes sense that we had to develop it, just like we had to develop it for TV when TV came out, just like we had to develop it when newspapers were invented. We had to keep developing these antibodies. So I am hopeful that we will get to a place where we can see some bullshit on the internet, and as a civilization, we'll be like, nah, that's bullshit. And then we'll,
That's a great point. People think, the printing press was invented and everybody thought, and that ushered in the Enlightenment. But right. It didn't. It ushered in like 100 years of killing witches.
And I feel really grateful with having the show. We joke a lot about this, but I love coming to work. I think we laugh together in that room, and we feel so lucky because the world does feel like it's on fire sometimes. You watch the news. Right. But our job is we get to turn on some of these clips, and we can laugh at it, we can scream at it, but like our job is to find a fucking joke to take away a little bit of that pain and to also like connect to one another. So I feel very, very fortunate that exists as long as linear TV is still a thing.